It's the worst feeling in the world when you finish editing your video, you've exported it, you've watched it back to make sure it's all good, you realize there's a problem, you've gone back into editing, you've fixed the problem, you've re-exported it again, you've then uploaded it, if you've got slow internet like me that takes ages, and then you get a copyright claim. Today, I'm gonna show you how to stop that. Nip it in the bud, never happen again. Let's go.
Let me take the friction from your lips, and I'ma love you, girl.
Okay, so there are 3 ways to go about music or background music in your videos. The first way is to do it illegally, which, you know, everyone to their own, but that is a lot of headache, and that's probably why you're here at this video. Well, at this stage of my channel, there's gonna be a lot of my friends around, but you get the gist. You can try and change the sound of that track. You can try and change the tempo, bass. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you can skew the track to try and dodge the copyright claims that you get on YouTube. The second option is to go the legal route and get licensed music. Royalty-free licensed music. I myself have been with Epidemic Sound for quite some time. They are really good. Like, you can get any genre of music, and it's good music as well. They've got thousands of tracks to choose from. You've got sound effects, which are so important. You don't realize how important they are until you start using them. But I must admit, if you're a small channel like mine, when you weigh up the money coming in comparison to coming out, it's gonna be a landslide to Epidemic Sound. So it all depends on where you are in your creative journey. But yeah, that's all stuff that you already knew. Option number 3, which is why I am here today. If you are a creative, you've already done a heap of the work, and I don't doubt that you can use your skill set to find people around you or in your circle who create music. Yeah, like, obviously. However, it's not just as simple as that. You still need to go and get consent from the people around you to make sure that you are allowed to use their music in your video. So if you don't know them as a friend, I would still recommend reaching out to them and just asking them if you can use their music, what the purpose for their music is for. And I'm almost certain you'll find a load of creatives in the music industry that would be open to doing so. Of course, the music that would demonetize and eventually close your channel isn't tailored for creative videos like what I am discussing today. And that's the same with Epidemic Sound. There is a little bit of a flaw with the music that you get. A lot of the time when you are editing these videos, you might want a track to last a certain length, and most tracks that you'll find online are only kind of like 5, 6 at the longest minutes long. So what I'm going to show you today is going to kind of future-proof you for the whole of your videos, and you might even start to kind of generate a sound. People can hear it and know that they're at your channel. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to show you how I do things. If you have the access to Adobe Audition, this is what I'll be using, or this is what I primarily use for my own setup. I also understand that not everyone has access to these programs. So what I'll do is I will show you the same process in a normal video editing software with a timeline at the bottom for audio. So yeah, we'll get it sorted. So if you do have Audition, what you want to do is you want to drag your track into this little area here, or when you're making a new track, you want to create a multi-track session is what I'm trying to say. In my case, I'm just going to open up a track that I've already worked with. So once in the multi-track, all I've done is I've found 2 points of the track that sound the same. So basically all you're trying to do is mirror up somewhere in the start of the track that mirrors the end or somewhere near the end of the track, so that you've got a meet. So that you've got a couple of minutes or 3 or 4 minutes of repeated track in there. So what I've done here and why Audition is so good, obviously it's a timeline made for audio. I'm not the best audio creator, video creator as well. It works for me and it seems to be quite good, if I'm honest. So these 2 yellow X's is literally where I've got one clip here and I've pulled it over. So as you pull it over, it blends in and goes from there. So I'll just pull that back. And you'll see, as I play this, how seamless the sound is. Right, so that easy. Once you have kind of created that meat part, as I mentioned, you literally just keep overlapping and overlapping and overlapping until you got a 1 hour loop. That way, when you're done with the track, you can just fade it out wherever you want. If you really want to, you can extend the end like what I've done right here. So then it finishes the track as it's supposed to. So what I will do is I will show you this process on Premiere as well, because I know, as I mentioned, a lot of you might not have the access to Audition, and this might be jargon to you. As I mentioned, I did this video already and I've already got everything laid out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break down how I got to that stage. So anytime you want to make a copy on your timeline of what you've already got, you select that item, you hold the Alt or the Option key, you drag it to wherever you want to drag it to. Do not let go of the Alt or Option key. Let go of the left click, and that should make a duplicate file on the timeline. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend these back again so that you can see the full track that's right here. Let me introduce to you a track that I love. This track is actually from a family member. So as I mentioned earlier, if you've got people around you who make good music, or if you have to reach out, make sure you do, because you never know. They might say yes, as my family member did. And now I get to use music that matches my style and not have to worry about getting demonetized. After you create these loops, by the way, you can just save them, export them, and keep them as a 1 hour loop. So you don't have to always keep that project file, which is useful. My battery died. I love the track, long story short. Let's get back into it. So quite a relaxing, simple track. It's got a lot of repetition in it, which is really easy for what I'm trying to do right now. So all I'm gonna do is follow the guidelines of what I've already done and explain why I've done what I've done. So just here on the timeline, I have cut just before that loop, you might call it. And then I've also done the same thing at the end of the track. So what I'll do is I'll line both of these up and I'll play it just so you know that what I'm talking about. That part, it'll come again. Cool. I did the same thing on the end of the track, or nearer the end of the track. Okay, once I found that point where they overlap and the same sounds are working and going through their paces, all I did was delete the rest of the track that you can see here. I kept the start because it's the start of the track. You might want to ease it in, I don't know, it all depends on you. And then from there, all I did was hold Alt or Option again, click on the track, drag it across. One last thing to add to it, you can already see that I've got it open right here. So go to your Effects tab, go to Constant Power, and then just drag that over the clip. Now I've got mine quite short because I use it for hard cuts so that it doesn't make that audio noise that people always leave in their videos. It's really annoying. I might make another video on that and why constant power is useful. But yeah, let's have a little listen. Just like that, seamless, awesome. So then what you want to do from that point is just keep making loads of copies. As I mentioned, you might want to export that after, and that might be kind of like a 1 hour loop of a certain track that you want to keep. I most certainly will be doing that with this track right here. However, because I have Audition, I will probably use Audition to make my own personal loop. But there's nothing wrong with this one. And if you've only got access to a video editor or Premiere, then this will do the trick. So I hope that's been helpful. It definitely has stopped me feeling cautious before I'm about to upload a video. If you don't want to go through this process and you just want royalty-free music that's already provided and nothing to worry about, then in my description, you'll see my affiliate link to Epidemic Sound. This link will give you a 30-day Epidemic Sound trial. That way you can just kind of drag music off of the website, something that you like. They've got a massive, massive library, thousands of tracks, thousands of effects. As I mentioned, it's a great resource to use so that you have peace of mind when you're uploading. There is another alternative as well, which I did forget. Royalty-free music, just like Epidemic Sound, but from YouTube itself. So if you go into your page and you go into your studio tab, then right at the bottom you'll find audio library. Audio library also has a massive list of music, sound effects, stuff that you can use for your videos. I personally haven't found much there for my taste, I guess, but it's a nice royalty-free source that you can use to get you started and to stop you getting those copyright claims. So this is the end of this video. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. Stay well. Peace. Yeah, the whole bun situation. Yeah, I was gonna cut it, so I didn't really know what to do with it, and I was just like, it's just out here. So yeah, and I always do this to myself. I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll cut it. I cut it and I hate it. So I thought, oh yeah, I'll put it up in a bun. See if I like. No, I don't really.